What's up, guys? We're gonna 𝗩𝗦𝗧𝗦. Today I'm gonna show you guys an easy way to make pain melodies. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the video. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the chords. So this is the sound that I'm using, just a little plain piano. So what I'm grabbing is scale, and honestly, I think we could just run with the A minor, just a basic one. And let's go ahead and pull this down so we have more space. So let's go in here. Grid wise, we're 1/2 beat grid. Okay. So to make this real simple, let's just put down our A minor chord like so. Try to make this a little bit larger. Okay. So now we have this. Probably pull it up. Okay. So as far as rhythm, you don't really want to put it on the grid like this necessarily. What you want to do is you can just offset it like, we can offset it like this to give it a little bit more like soul to it, so it's not super robotic, but that doesn't mean you can't put it on the grid. Okay. So what we're gonna do is fix these up. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how to kind of recolor them and make them sound how you want them to. So pretty much you could use any note within this scale as a bass line, or you can add a note, because it all comes full circle, and I'll explain later. But let's fix this up real quick so we have something to work with. So we have this. So now let's pull this down, pull that up, and then over here, let's add a note here. Have a little. Okay, and then you can pull notes up or down if you want. So if you want to do something like this, right, and that has a little bit more weight to it, kind of like. Right, so you can use these other notes to kind of make your chord unique, right? So we do need a bass line, and put it back here. So since we need a bass line, you could pull these down, okay? But that's super generic to just do that. So another thing you could do is you could make a chord backwards, and we could pull that note down. And there's other notes you can use as well. So if you want to, let's say this one and we don't like this one. That didn't sound too bad actually, right? But if you keep making the chord backwards, you can find other notes to use that you may like, or some that might sound terrible. And they all pretty much sound good, right? Could try this one. Let's pull this down. I kind of like this one. Okay, and just using this method is how you can reshape your chords so they're not generic like everyone else's, right? So with this, let me see. So we can roll with this, and we could probably add something at the end. Let's take this, make a chord out of it. Try something like this. Okay, I think that's good. If you want to animate stuff, you can, but we can do that when we add the top melody. So I think that's good for the chords. You should be able to come on something unique. So let's go ahead and add the top melody. Okay, so now we're gonna do our top melody and animate. So I did use that bass line that we made together where we pulled it down. Because I actually like the C to A bass line, so I just put it in here just so it's not the same exact like chords throughout, since it's going to be playing on repeat. All right, just so it's slightly different. Okay, so for this, what we can do real quick is we can just add in and turn the velocity down, Alt, and you can use the scroll wheel just to add some like animation in there. Just something real simple. This is supposed to be kind of a dragged out melody, very slow, so we can keep it that way. So let's zoom in and let's make a top melody. So we're gonna focus on this half. So what we're gonna do is take this top note and pull it up. Simple as that. And then let's figure out where we want to put this note. I kind of want this to play like this. Do a flam, and I like to just do my flams by holding Alt, because I can place it wherever it's not on the grid, so it's a little bit more humanized. And let's go to the 1/4 beat and throw in a note right here. And then since we came back here, now we can make a chord backwards to find some other notes. Let's see. We're gonna have to adjust some of these notes. And we can adjust the velocity later, or we don't have to do it at all. So we're just gonna keep adding in a bunch of like flams and stuff. Let's go back up here. So you can see we're pretty much using the same notes, right? Using the same notes pretty much throughout. Oops. And then we can add some in at the bottom, just like that. Let's see. I want it to be softer. Okay, I like that. That's pretty smooth. So let's move this to the end so we can keep that consistent. And then pretty much over here to continue this, right? So it's not repetitive. We take this last note we use in this melody and drag it over. And of course you can just put it, you can cheat the system by just putting it in the middle in these little spots like so. And of course right here as well. Okay. So matter of fact, we could just kind of cycle back to this just like so. Okay, so let's just make something. Not perfect, but it's good enough. Okay, so that is our melody. Pretty simple. Our top melody is right here. These are the notes we changed up. And then everything else from here is pretty easy. So let's go ahead and move on to our other instrument and our drums. All right, so here's the sound we have. And we don't really need this, but I just added this so that we can have like a low point. So I'm gonna just delete literally everything up top. And then we can kind of like make this all clumped up. And let's just so it's something, so like we have a verse point where we don't have all this piano going on. All right, so that's it for that. And we can move on to the drums. All right, so now we're starting our bass. Now I may speed this up slightly depending on how long it takes, because we spend a long time on the instruments and stuff. So let's paste this in, and then we're gonna shift D, and then from here we're just gonna kind of play around with some of the drums. So I'm gonna just figure something out. You just kind of just bounce around some of the stuff. Okay, that was pretty simple. I'll play it. Okay, so now we can just throw in some simple drums and we can have an outro beat. Okay, so let's just throw in some drums quickly for the outro. So obviously we can just place our clap like this. You can get away with a lot with like stuff like this because you don't have to add a lot of drums, so you can kind of, you know, play around. Then we can just slide this through. And then we could just right click and we're pretty much done, right? And of course we could mix and do all this stuff, but as far as the melody and beat goes, here's the beat, the outro beat. All right, and that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.